Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the mining newsflash with IsoEnergy, Copper Mountain, Auryn Resources and Canada Nickel. IsoEnergy announced the financing with Queen's Road Capital Investment for $6 million of unsecured convertible debentures. The debentures will be convertible at the holder's option at a conversion price of 88 Canadian cents into approximately 9.1 million common shares of the company. Concurrent with the proposed debenture offering, the company also announces a non-brokered private placement for gross proceeds of up to 4 million Canadian dollars. ISO will issue up to 5.88 million common shares at a price of 68 cents per share. NextGen Energy, the company's majority shareholder, has agreed to subscribe for 3 million Canadian dollars of the private placement. ISO is fully financed and can move quickly in the upcoming rising uranium price environment. Copper Mountain released good Q2 2020 results and exceeded the revised operating plan from 10th March 2020 with a Q2 2020 production of 23.9 million pounds of copper equivalent, comprising 18.1 million pounds of copper, 7,500 ounces of gold and 86,000 ounces of silver. Important to note are the reduced cash costs per pound significantly in Q2 2020, with C1 cash costs per pound of copper produced at only $1.48 compared to $1.74 in Q2 2019. The all-in sustaining cost, the AISC per pound of copper, were $1.67 compared to $1.85 in the quarter last year. The all-in costs, and those are for me the most important numbers per pound of copper, were $1.67 compared to $2.35 in Q2 2019. This is great as low costs raise margins and help a lot in a still too low copper price environment. The revenues increased to $91 million compared to $65 million in Q2 2019, with an increased gross profit of over $30.3 million compared to $1.6 million in Q2 2019. Earnings per share rose from 1 cent last year to now 12 cents per share. I like it. Cash flow from operations before working capital changes increased heavily to $41.5 million compared to $4.7 million in Q2 2019. Copper Mountain completed the installation of a direct flotation reactors in July on schedule and on budget. The company is well set up for a higher copper price environment, which we expect within the next years through the rising e-mobility and the related infrastructure and charging construction. Auryn Resources and Eastmain Resources entered into a definitive agreement pursuant to which Auryn will acquire all of the issued and outstanding shares of Eastmain immediately following a spin-out of Auryn's Peruvian projects to Auryn shareholders and a completion of a concurrent financing. The transaction will create Fury Gold Mines Limited, called Fury Gold, and two independent spin-out entities, the SpinCos, which will hold Auryn's Peruvian projects. Concurrent with the spin-out of the Peruvian projects, Fury Gold will consolidate their shares by approximately 10-7, such that approximately 110 million Fury Gold shares will be outstanding after the Eastmain acquisition, pre-financing of course, of which 69% will be owned by current Auryn shareholders and 31% will be owned by current Eastmain shareholders. Fury Gold is expected to remain listed on the TSX and NYSE American exchanges and will be led by the new president and CEO Mike Timmins. After adjustment for the assumed value of the SpinCo shares based on an independent valuation report received by Auryn, the 121 million Canadian dollar offer represents approximately 42 cents per Eastmain share, representing a premium of 137% to the closing market price of the Eastmain shares on 29th July 2020 and a premium of 123% based on the 20-day volume-weighted average price of the Eastmain shares. Auryn combines their Canadian assets and operations, Committee Bay, Nunavut and Homestake Ridge in British Columbia, with Eastmain's assets, their Eau Claire and Eleanor South joint venture in Quebec, to create a Canadian developer platform with an aggressive growth strategy. Mike Timmins was the former Agnico Eagle Vice President of Corporate Development to lead now Fury Gold as President, CEO and Director. The concurrent private placement of Fury Gold subscription receipts will raise a minimum of $15 million. Fury Gold will commence a 50,000-meter drill program at Eau Claire shortly after closing of the transaction and will provide updated exploration plans for Homestake Ridge and Committee Bay after closing. As Ivan Bebek intended in the last interview, now he is delivering. We like to focus on Peru and Canada, and also we welcome the Eastmain transaction. It looks like that this will be a real future large mining player soon. Canada Nickel Company created a wholly owned subsidiary called NetZero Metals to begin the research and development of a processing facility that would be located in the Timmins, Ontario region, with the goal of utilizing existing technologies to produce zero-carbon nickel, cobalt and iron products. The company has applied for trademarks for the terms net zero nickel, net zero cobalt and net zero iron in the US, Canada and other jurisdictions related to zero carbon production of nickel, cobalt and iron products. Mark Selby said, the electric vehicle industry and many other consumer sectors needs zero carbon metal this decade, not in a nebulous 2050 timeframe contemplated by many other resource companies, he said. And he continued, as a result of the unique advantages of the Timmins region with its close proximity to zero-carbon hydroelectricity and our Crawford nickel-cobalt sulfide project comprised largely of serpentine rock that naturally absorbs CO2 when exposed to air, Canada Nickel has the potential to develop zero-carbon products that our customers are expecting from the mining sector. With nickel as a preferred metal to power the clean energy revolution, our commitment to net zero carbon production is the right step to take for the environment, for consumers and for our investors, he said. That's fantastic, and we like the initiative of Canada Nickel to make the production of necessary battery metals carbon-free or at least neutral. Me and or my team are shareholders in one and or all stocks presented, and they are or will be included into the SRC Mining Special Situation Certificate. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye, this time from Austria.